he didn't know where to go, but he followed everybody else to the Lower East Side, and somebody in the conversation told him that what were you doing? And he said, I was learning, I'm making caps with my father and brothers. So they directed him to a place where he could work, a factory, and they hired him. And the payment was that he could sleep under the machine and get $1 a week. So as payment for his work. So he worked under those cycles, slept under the machine, and got $1 a week. And after a year, he had gotten to know a little about Mary. He never could learn English very well. Never could speak English very well. You remember him? He spoke very poorly.
I don't remember him talking.
He could never learn how to write.
I never remember him talking.
No, he talked Yiddish. In fact, that's why I speak Yiddish. I understand every word of it. Because that was my first language, Yiddish. And at any rate, after the year was up, about a year approximately, he learned enough about what life was in the United States. In the United States as he knew it. And life was about getting ahead. So somehow or other he worked his machinations and all. In that day, and in his industry, you achieved your peak as a machine operator when you arrived at the window. See, each time, each step of the way was getting closer to the window.
It's like moving from a cubicle
Right.
to an office.
Right. That was the pride you had, that you arrived at, as he said, when I arrived at the window, I knew I had to go into business. So
how long was that? A year?
A year or two at most. He talked about
And he was
year.
the whole time he was still sleeping under
Yes. But he met people and got to know. But at any rate, then there's a big gap. The big gap ends.
Can I just ask something? Did he say anything, like when he was sleeping under the machine? I mean, so that was where he was living. I mean, what did he eat? Did he ever have a cooked meal?
He had $1 you could buy it.
So he'd go out and buy some food, but
I
it wasn't
guess.
like
I can't tell you.
You don't know.
I don't know, but I would guess that's what happened. I know that those times in my time, when you had to take a bath, you went to this public bath. The city had public baths, and you had steam rooms and showers.
Right,
See, he brought them all over one at a time. First his two brothers, then his sister, two remaining brothers, then his sister, and then his father, not his mother. They never mentioned his mother coming over. And I remember his father, and I'll tell you as I go on how I remember him. I don't remember him from then because I wasn't there. I wasn't born then. But what he did was, as I say, after this big gap, he decided to go into business. And how he did it, I don't know. But he went into business making caps. And as I say, he couldn't read or write. By that time, he had brought one of his brothers over, and he took him as a partner. And subsequently, a few years later, he caught him stealing from him, and they broke. I don't remember my grandmother at all because she wasn't there. My grandfather, when I knew him, I didn't know his first name, but I know his last name. Maybe his first name was Lewis, because his last name would have to be Gorowitz. Lewis, that was his name, Lewis. And he had been married by the time I got to know him, well, about 5 times. He was a serial marrier. He got into business, and not knowing any better, he progressed. And he got a factory, and a lot of people who had worked with him, went to work for him. His ex-boss worked for him. and he had a factory. He was driven around by a chauffeur because he didn't know how to drive. He had a chauffeur, and he was doing very well. As I say, his brother was his partner. By that time, they had split up because his brother was stealing from him. His brother was the one who took care of the records and the books and all, and he caught him. But at any rate, he, as I say, was riding around with his chauffeur. I think at that time he was about a little more than 30.